Okay, so you've got all the definite pronouns, or I'm sorry, definite articles. Lo and or el or los and la and las. All right, so now let's move into what happens when you want to have an indefinite article. All right, and we're going to talk about the difference between the two. So definite is similar to the in English. All right, why would the be definite? So think about it in the fact of you are defining something. I want the bowl. I want the cat. I see the picture. I see the photo. I see the map. You are talking about something that is definite. It's specific. All right. Remember, you're going to use el if it's masculine and singular, los if it's masculine and plural. Feminine is going to be la if it's singular and las if it's plural. Make sure you have this in your notes for the definites. Now, indefinite articles are similar to the kind of article a in English. Why would something be indefinite? It's like, you know what? I want a cat. That means you'll take any cat. You're like, I just want a cat versus like, I want that cat, right? The cat. Or if you're saying, I want a photo rather than I see the photo, it's very open. So it's going to be something where you're representing, usually in English, it's going to be a, right? Like I took a quiz. I took the quiz in Spanish. Those are two definite versus indefinite examples. All right. Now, as you have an L masculine in definite, in indefinite articles, your masculine is un. All right. Your plural of your masculine is unos. So let's say I have a book. All right. That's libro. Un libro, a book. But if I have multiple books, I'm going to say unos libros. All right. That's a book. Like necesito un libro. I need a book. Necesito unos libros. I need all the books, right? Is kind of the idea of that. That's not exact translation. Feminine then is going to be una, right? And that's going to be a, but it's going to be with a feminine noun. Then unas is going to be when your noun is feminine and plural. Remember, your articles always go before a noun. So whatever the gender of the noun is, whether it's masculine or feminine, that then defines if you use el, la, un, una, los, las, or unos, unas. Okay? Let's practicamos. So your sub is going to hand out to you an entire worksheet on all of your definite and indefinite articles. I want you to work on that. Okay. Remember, use these notes so you know specifically and particularly in the sense of like, all right, is it masculine? Is it feminine? Is it singular? Is it plural? Those two questions are going to get you to are using el, la, or using los or las. And then you also have the question of, is it talking about the something specific or is it something talking about something general? All right, if it's that a general something, use your indefinite articles. If it's specific, use your definite. All right, so you can pause and you can work on that. And also, we're going to practice this. If you want your own practice right now before you want to start on that sheet, because I'm going to grade that sheet for correctness. So, artículos. If we think about definite, I want you to do these: autobús, conversación, día, escuela, foto, maleta, mapa, nacionalidad, país, palabra, programa, y video. All right. See if you can figure out, would those be el or la? All right. Then get your indefinite. How about computadora? Now you're doing indefinite articles. What would that be? Comunidad, diccionario, escuela, cuaderno, hombre, lápiz, problema, conversación. All of those, figure out, okay, what would my indefinite article with that be? All right, put these in your notes. We can go over these together tomorrow in class. That way I can make sure you're on the right track. All right, then things we never ever want to forget are ser and are a star. We are going to, here's the thing, even though you just took a quiz on this, it's never going to end. You're going to have it forever because you're going to have to now use it in more difficult situations with more vocabulary, with more nouns. So don't forget your doctor. I always spell origen in Spanish. Sorry, that should be an I if it's in English. But don't forget your doctor, and I got some examples for you. So what I want you to do is I'm going to play this, and then I want you to pause after I say it, and then I want you to try and figure it out. So, por ejemplo, I am tall and strong. They are Catholic. All right, all the girls. So tall is alto, strong, fuerte. All right, Catholic is católica. So what I want you to do, pause really quick, and I want you to try and figure out, all right, how would I write this using ser? You know, these are all going to be ser because they're going to fall into doctor. All right, try it. Pause me. Good. I hope you paused me. Now for the answers. Yo soy alta y fuerte. Ellas son católicas. All right. Yo soy alta y fuerte. I said alta because I am feminine, right? I identify as feminine, so I would use that A. If you're masculine, you would put alto. Now, since we know these are all girls, ellas son católicas. So you have that AS at the end because you have multiple girls, so you make that plural. All right. Then, my father is a professor. Pause this. Try it. Good. Hopefully you paused. And it's going to be, mi padre es un profesor. Right? You're using ser there. Mi padre is your L, so you go into S. You are smart. You are smart. Pause this video. Figure that one out. Smart is inteligente. All right. Hopefully you pause. Here's the answer. Tú eres inteligente. Don't forget that accent over that U. All right. Then it's 3:30 and it's my birthday. You have two verbs in that sentence. Remember, birthday is cumpleaños. All right. Remember what you do when you go into numbers. This is 3 hours. It's more than 1 hour. So it's going to be plural. So even though it's an usted, make sure you know it's an ustedes because there's 3 hours. If this was one, then you would have usted, but now it's ustedes. So pause, try and figure this out. All right. Hopefully you got son las 3:30 y es mi cumpleaños. All right. And this is what I was talking about. When we talk about time, we go to las, right? For those articles. Remember, if this was the 3, it would be el tres. But because we're using it within time, we go to las and it's always plural unless it's one. Then I'm from the US. My ring is silver. You know, Estados Unidos, ring, anillo, silver, plata. Okay. So pause, figure out how you would say that. And soy de los Estados Unidos. Oh, I put my. That should be mi anillo es de plata. All right. And the last one, relationship. Robert is my dad. All right. So that is my dad's name. All right. So pause, figure that out. Hopefully you pause. And here we have it. Roberto es mi padre. All right. That's what we're going to practice for today. Now, you are going to be working on your articles, that entire worksheet. Work on that. Make sure you have all the notes from every single slide in this presentation. We're going to move through these articles very quickly, all right? Because we got to get into so many other things. We have to do all your vocabulary, plus we need to get into some new verbs, right? We got to get into tener and dar, so that way you can be using more verbs before we get into your regular verbs. So make sure you have all of these notes from everything on here put into place. All right. I will see you tomorrow. Know that I miss you. Echo de menos mucho, mucho. All right. Y nos vemos mañana or tarde. Es posible porque estoy en la escuela. Notice how I use estoy there. I'm in the school. So, nos vemos pronto. Chao, mis amores.